The badge hit the floor before Marcus even understood what was happening. 15 years of fixing other people's mistakes. And the CEO just ripped his life apart in front of his daughter. "Get out," Victoria Chase said, her voice calm like someone who'd forgotten what mercy felt like. Marcus didn't move. He couldn't. The sound of the broken plastic echoed louder than the words. "My daddy works here," Emma whispered from the doorway, clutching her faded backpack. Her voice was so small, so out of place in that glass and marble empire that pretended men like him didn't exist. For a moment, something flickered in Victoria's eyes. Regret, maybe, but then it was gone. "Not anymore," she said. Outside, the city thundered with sirens. 22 minutes later, Meridian Tower went dark. Every floor, every light, every system. The billion-dollar deal she'd bragged about. Dead in the water. And the only man who could save her was walking down 42nd Street, holding the hand of a little girl who still believed the world was fair. You won't believe what happens next. Like this story and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where justice always finds its way back. The elevator doors closed with a metallic sigh that sounded too final. Marcus stood in the silence, his daughter's small hand locked inside his, the broken badge still warm in his pocket. Outside, New York was waking up. Horns, chatter, footsteps, life moving on without him. But inside that steel box, time had stopped. He wasn't angry yet. Anger came later. What he felt now was humiliation. Sharp, bitter, and alive. By the time they reached the lobby, Emma's tears had dried into small silver trails on her cheeks. "Daddy," she whispered, "did you do something bad?" Marcus knelt down, looked her in the eyes, and forced a smile that didn't belong to him. "No, sweetheart. Sometimes people make decisions they don't understand." She looked mad. "She's used to getting what she wants," Marcus said quietly. "But the world doesn't always work that way." They stepped out into the cold. Snow flurries swirled through the air like bits of ash. Somewhere high above them, the tower that had swallowed 15 years of his life was gleaming like nothing had happened. But then something strange. The lights flickered. Once. Then darkness swallowed half the skyline. Marcus stopped walking. Emma tugged his sleeve. "Daddy!" He didn't answer. He already knew what had gone wrong. The emergency grid, the same one he'd warned them about for months, had finally failed. 22 minutes after being fired, the building he had kept alive for 15 years was dying without him. Inside Meridian Tower, chaos erupted. Board members screamed into dead phones. Elevators froze between floors. Security alarms howled and then went silent. Victoria Chase stood in her glass office surrounded by shadows and watched her empire crumble one floor at a time. "Get maintenance on the line," she barked. "They're not responding," one of the guards shouted. "Then find someone who can fix this." A voice from the back. "Ma'am, the only one who can is. Don't you dare say his name." But she was already thinking it. Marcus Reed. 2 blocks away, Marcus's phone rang. Unknown number. He ignored it. Then it rang again. He answered on the third call. "Mr. Reed, it's Danny from security. The tower's down, everything. Backup generators, elevators. People are trapped." Marcus's jaw tightened. "I told you months ago those capacitors were bad. Please. Fire department's stuck on the bridge. There are old folks in those elevators, kids too. We need you." "I don't work there anymore." "I know, but..." Danny's voice broke. "They're scared, sir. And she, Ms. Chase, she's losing it." Marcus looked down at Emma. Her eyes were wide, searching his face. "You're going back, aren't you?" "Yeah," he said softly. "Yeah, I am." The lobby of Meridian Tower looked like a war zone. Emergency lights painted everything in red. People were shouting, crying, praying. Marcus moved through the noise like a man with a mission. "Where's the service elevator?" he shouted. "Basement's flooded." Danny called back. "I'll take the old shaft." "You can't. Watch me." Emma clung to his hand as they reached the maintenance gate. "Stay close. Don't touch anything." The metal groaned as he pulled it open. The air smelled like burning plastic and fear. They descended into the dark heart of the building, pipes dripping, wires humming, the mechanical pulse of a dying system. Marcus worked fast. Sweat rolled down his neck. Sparks snapped when he stripped the first wire. His hands moved from memory. Twist, clamp, we're out. Emma watched silently, small and steady beside him. Will it work? She asked. It has to. Above them, Victoria Chase paced her office, every nerve frayed. The board was threatening to walk. The press was already circling. The billion-dollar deal she'd signed that morning was minutes from collapse. Where is he? She hissed. Basement, Danny said. He came back. What? He's down there now, fixing it. Victoria froze. The woman who had never hesitated in her life didn't know what to say. She turned toward the window, staring into the blacked-out city, and whispered to herself, "Come on, Reed. Just once, prove me wrong." The power came back in waves, one floor, then another, until the tower lit up like sunrise. People cheered. Phones buzzed. Life returned. In the sublevel, Marcus slumped against the wall, breathing hard. Emma threw her arms around him. You did it. He smiled, tired but proud. Yeah, kiddo. We did. When they stepped out of the service elevator, Victoria was waiting. Alone. No guards, no entourage. Just her standing in silence. Her face was unreadable. You fixed it, she said. I did. Why? Marcus met her eyes. Because some people don't stop caring just because they get pushed out the door. She flinched like the words had weight. I was wrong about you. You were wrong about a lot of things. Her jaw tightened. Maybe. Then softer. Thank you. He started to walk away, Emma beside him. Behind them, Victoria whispered. Wait. He turned. There's more to fix than the lights. 2 weeks later, Marcus sat across from her at a coffee shop on Lexington. Gone was the red power suit. She wore jeans and a gray sweater, her hair tied back. For the first time she looked human. I need your help, she said. Pretty sure you already fired me. This isn't about pipes or wires. Someone's trying to destroy my company from the inside. I think it's my assistant, Helena Vance. Marcus leaned back. You want me to spy for you? I want you to see. You see things other people miss. He hesitated. I don't want your money. Then what? Benefits. For me and my daughter. Health insurance that actually covers things. And one more thing, you treat people right this time. Victoria extended her hand. Deal. Marcus moved through the tower like a ghost again, but this time with clearance. He watched Helena. Perfect. Efficient. Too perfect. Her eyes tracked Victoria's every move with something colder than loyalty. On Friday evening, Marcus followed her after work. He trailed her to a parking garage on the Upper East Side. She met a man in a silver suit, Raymond Cross, executive from a rival firm. They exchanged a USB drive for an envelope. That night, Marcus laid the photos on Victoria's desk. She stared at them, pale. Raymond Cross. Your competitor. The one you turned down last year. Victoria sank into her chair. 8 years, Marcus. I trusted her. Trust isn't weakness, he said gently. It's what makes us human. But she wasn't listening. She was remembering. 3 nights later, Marcus got a call. A woman's voice, smooth and cold. You're looking for the wrong villain. Helena's not working alone. Meet me at Pier 47. Tomorrow night. Come alone. The warehouse was half dead. Windows shattered, floor slick with oil. Marcus arrived early, every instinct screaming trap. At 8:56, headlights cut across the lot. A woman stepped out. Catherine. Mid-40s, sharp eyes. Helena's a pawn, she said. The real player is Raymond Cross. And Victoria, she's using you. You're disposable. Marcus didn't blink. You talk too much. Catherine smiled. Take this. She held out a USB. Proof of everything. Before he could move, footsteps thundered from the dark. Grab him. Marcus ran. He vaulted the fence, knee screaming in pain. Behind him shouts, curses, headlights. He didn't stop until the city swallowed him. When he burst into Victoria's penthouse an hour later, she was pacing wild-eyed. What happened? Ambush. Cross's people. They wanted me dead. Oh my God, Marcus. He cut her off. Where's Sophie? At home. Why? Keep her there. Don't trust anyone. For the first time, Victoria looked truly afraid. They're not after the company anymore, are they? No, Marcus said quietly. They're after you. He didn't sleep that night. At dawn, he found the link. A burner number Helena had called 12 times. He traced it to a Brooklyn store. The security footage showed Catherine standing beside Raymond Cross. The trap confirmed. By sunrise, federal agents were on standby. Marcus laid out the plan. Helena would make her move at the next board meeting. Cross would be watching. They'd catch them both. When the day came, Marcus sat in the security control room, screens flickering before him. In the boardroom, Victoria presented quarterly results. Helena typed notes too calmly. Then her phone buzzed. Rose. Excuse me. Marcus followed. She was almost at Victoria's office when he spoke. Forgot something. Helena froze. Mr. Reed, what are you doing here? Stopping you. Her hand went to her purse. You don't understand. She took everything from me. No, you gave it away. Helena's voice cracked. I built this company. She just inherited it. And you sold it to the man who'll burn it to the ground. The gun appeared like a spark of silver. She aimed it at his chest. I can't go to prison, she whispered. You don't have to. He stepped closer. But you can still do the right thing. Her hands shook. For a heartbeat, no one breathed. Then she sobbed. The gun dropped. Marcus caught it and held her as she collapsed, broken. Federal agents stormed in seconds later. Helena was taken away quietly. That night, Raymond Cross was arrested for fraud and corporate espionage. The news spread like wildfire. Meridian was safe. Victoria stood in her office staring at the city lights. She was my friend, she said. The only one I had. Marcus placed a hand on her shoulder. Then make that mean something. Build better. Be better. Weeks passed. Scandal turned into recovery. Employees smiled again. Victoria changed. Not overnight, but enough. She started asking names, remembering birthdays, thanking janitors. People noticed. One evening, Marcus walked into her office to find Sophie and Emma coloring on the floor, laughing like sisters. Victoria looked up, smiling in a way that reached her eyes. You're good with them, she said. They make it easy. You're good with me too. Marcus chuckled. That's harder. Not as hard as it used to be. For the first time, the woman who'd once torn his badge away didn't look like a CEO. She looked like someone trying to start over. Outside, the last of the sunset faded into gold. Inside, something new began. Quiet, steady, real. But across the river, in a holding cell, Raymond Cross watched the evening news replay his arrest for the 10th time. The reporter's voice echoed through the bars. Sources confirm that former Hartley Wells executive Raymond Cross will face multiple federal charges after evidence provided by Meridian Tower's maintenance engineer exposed a corporate espionage scheme. Cross slammed his fist against the wall. The lights flickered. The same kind of power failure that had started it all. Only this time, no Marcus Reed was coming to save him. He sank onto the concrete floor as the cell went dark, realizing too late that he'd been the one replaceable all along. When Marcus left the tower that night, the city sounded different. Less cruel, more awake. Snow fell in slow spirals, landing softly on his work boots. For the first time in years, he wasn't rushing anywhere. He stood still, breathing in the cold, watching his daughter point at the skyline that was bright again because of him. Behind those windows, people were still typing, laughing, living, never knowing that the man they once ignored had saved their world twice. But Marcus didn't need their applause anymore. What he wanted was smaller and stronger. peace, dignity, and the quiet pride of someone who stayed true when others didn't. Victoria looked down from her office, her reflection and his figure aligning in the glass for a moment before she turned away. The next morning, her company policies changed. Workers got fair hours, health benefits, and respect. She never said Marcus's name at the press conference, but she didn't have to. Everyone in that building knew who kept it standing. As dawn broke, Marcus took Emma's hand and whispered, "Let's go home." The camera lingered on their footprints fading into the snow. Two lines crossing a city that finally learned what real strength looks like. If this story moved you, hit like, share it with someone who believes in second chances, and subscribe to Canada's Heartfelt Tales, where every story reminds us that truth always finds the light.